Peace, everybody, back with another video. This is Biden to resume construction of section of President Trump's border wall in Texas. Report. Alright, yeah, so Biden now wants to restart the construction of the wall where the former president has started. Alright. Fox News reporter Bill Melugin reported Wednesday evening on a special report that the Biden administration will resume construction of a 13.4-mile section of President Trump's border wall in the Rio Grande Valley in Texas. So that's what the Fox News reporter Bill Malugin reported on Wednesday, that report that the Biden administration will resume construction of a 13.4-mile section of President Trump's border wall in the Rio Grande Valley in Texas. Now the question is, will he be able to do it, or is this another one of those scamming schemes that Creepy Joe is pulling over here? And of course, here's the former president who started the wall before he left office. Malugin posted about his report to Twitter. Breaking at Fox News has confirmed via the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers that construction on a 13.4-mile stretch of border wall in the Rio Grande Valley will resume after pressure from local residents and politicians. The Biden admin previously halted all wall construction in January. Yes, so Malugin posted about his report to Twitter, and of course it was breaking at Fox News, has confirmed that via the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, they're going to finish the rest of the wall because of all the illegals that are coming in here, and of course human trafficking as well. That construction on a 13.4-mile stretch of border wall in the Rio Grande Valley will resume after pressure from local residents and politicians. Yeah, so the residents, they're fed up with all these illegals coming into our country that don't belong here, because they come here illegally. And of course, here's the Twitter account of Bill, of what he posted on his Twitter account. As you can see here, I do believe whatever that video goes to, I don't know. Senator Ted Cruz has recently sent a letter to Biden urging completion of a stretch or unfinished border wall in Hidalgo County due to concerns about a level wall system that was part of the border wall construction that was also left unfinished. With flood season approaching, Cruz called on Biden to finish that part of the wall. Cruz's spokeswoman, Erin Perrin, posted about the letter Wednesday evening in response to the Fox report. So Senator Ted Cruz, he had recently sent a letter to Biden urging completion of a stretch of unfinished border wall. And this is in Hidalgo County due to concerns about a level wall system that was part of the border wall construction. And of course, the flood season is approaching for down at the southern border. And Cruz called on Biden to finish that part of the wall. Cruz's spokeswoman, Erin Perrin, posted about the letter Wednesday evening in response to the Fox report. And here is her Twitter, as you can see, that she posted about this. Alright, so she made this comment. Senator Cruz led the charge to get Biden to reverse his decision on border wall construction for the Rio Grande Village. Yes, so that's what she replied to this right here at the bottom of Bill, what he posted on his Twitter account. Cruz letter, footnotes at source, of course, and this is what he wrote. Dear President Biden, your decision to halt levee wall construction when you halted border wall construction has left hundreds of thousands of residents vulnerable in the Rio Grande Valley. We have heard from Hidalgo County officials and residents that as hurricane and flooding season soon approaches, the unfinished border wall levee system in Hidalgo County is a matter of urgent public safety that have been emphatic remaining. The levee wall system should be an emergency priority. We urge you to allow the RGV Border Patrol sector to complete and reinforce the compromised and unfinished levee system in Hidalgo County immediately, a measure that is strongly supported by local residents and leaders across the political spectrum. All right, so that's what Senator Ted Cruz had wrote the letter that he wants Biden to have this wall finished immediately because of the hurricane and flood season that is coming soon, which is June 1st through November 30th is hurricane season. So, and of course, the flooding is also going to come with it as well. In 2019, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection began construction on approximately 24 miles of levee wall system in Hidalgo County, Texas, to protect against flood damage that plagues the region. CBP partnered with the United States Army Corps of Engineers to award a contract to build 11 miles of new levee system, and the levee system construction project was funded by CBP's fiscal year 2019 appropriation for the levee design plans were approved by the International Boundary and Water Commissions and USACE. Yes, so in 2019, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection began construction on approximately 24 miles of levee wall in Hidalgo County in this Texas to protect against flood damage that plagues the region. The CBP partnered with the United States Army Corps of Engineers to award a contract to build 11 miles of new levee as well. So they have to finish this wall before the hurricane and the flooding comes. Initially, in order to accommodate border wall construction, the levee system was modified. However, when your administration halted border wall construction this January, it also halted construction on the levee wall system in Hidalgo County, leaving that system not only unfinished but compromised. Currently, there are approximately 14 miles of work area in Hidalgo County that are either incomplete or compromised. This exposes residents to uncovered trenches, rebar, and construction materials. It also cuts off or limits many Hidalgo County residents, businesses, and irrigation districts access to their property. Yes, so when Creepy Joe had halted the construction of the wall, he also halted construction of the levee as well. And so this is why all the illegals are coming in illegally instead of the right way that the former president wanted. So they just hopping over the walls and everything else. So, and they shouldn't be in this country illegally. So this is why Senator Cruz had wrote this to Creepy Joe. But the largest threat by far to public safety is the upcoming hurricane season. The RGV knows all too well the catastrophic effects of flooding. In June 2018, the valley experienced a great flood, made vulnerable by its generally flat terrain and proximity to the warm Gulf waters. The valley experienced flash flooding, precipitated by heavy tropical rainfall, leading to flooded streets and thousands of emergency rescues. The flooding is estimated to have resulted in at least $250 million of damage, including damage to over 20,000 Texans residents and businesses. The RGV was struck again in June of 2019 with record-setting rainfall in certain areas. Streets were again flooded, homes and businesses devastated. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, in response, committed to $240 million to the repair of homes, businesses, and infrastructure. And last year, the RGV was hit with prolific rainfall, including up to 18 inches in some spots. So yeah, it caused a lot of damages to homes, businesses, of course, all the flooding that was going on into the streets. And of course, there was thousands of emergency rescues. The flooding is estimated to have resulted in at least $250 million of damages. All right, that's including damages to over 20,000 Texan residents and businesses. All right. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development in response committed to $250 million to the repair of home, business, and infrastructure as well. And that was in 2019. And of course, last year, the RGV was hit with a prolific rainfall, including up to 18 inches in some spots. While residents of the Rio Grande Valley have suffered through devastating tropical storms in recent years, this year's hurricane season is already shaping up to have buster tropical storm activities than normal. Hurricane expert Dr. Philip Klotzbach of Colorado State University released this year's seasonal hurricane forecast would have predicted 17 named storms, 8 hurricanes, and 4 major hurricanes for 2021, rates notably higher than the average from 1981 to 2010. 11 Texas is expected to be hard hit with a forecast of 75% of chance of being impacted by a tropical storm, 49% chance of being hit by a hurricane, and 21% chance of a major hurricane hitting the state. These rates are considerably higher than the typical hurricane season rates in Texas of 58%, 35%, and 14% respectively. Yes, so these hurricanes are going to be much worse this year than it was the previous years, and it's going to be more damaging, of course. And these are, and of course, those are the predicted of what is going to happen or what might happen. Hurricane season is predicted with 17 named storms. So, and of course, he's predicting 8 hurricanes and 4 major hurricanes for 2021, rates notably higher than the average from 1981 to 2010. All right, so 11 Texas is expected to be hard hit with a forecast 75% chance of being impacted by a tropical storm. So there's going to be, might be more damages than it was the previous years of all these hurricanes and flooding and everything else. When a forecast busy hurricane season fast approaching, border wall levee construction must commence immediately in Hidalgo County in response to the heightened flood risk this year. Over 14 miles of the levee system need immediate remediation. The compromised levee poses severe risk to over 200,000 county residents once flooding begins. Simply put, the effects of hurricane season will be catastrophic in Hidalgo County if the levee system is not remediated. Yes, so if the levee is not repaired or whatever, it's going to cause a lot of problems and everything else, flooding, everything. Independent of the border wall's significant success in decreasing illegal immigration, shoring up the levee system will provide desperately needed safety and security to Americans in the Rio Grande Valley. Your administration should not allow, in opposition to a border wall, to prevent building a levee wall, and that is critical to the people of the Rio Grande Valley. We urge you to authorize the RGV Border Patrol sector to immediately commence levee construction. Yeah, so Senator Cruz is asking to have this construction restart again and repair all the damages that are left untouched. And of course, he said your administration should not allow its opposition to a border wall to prevent building a levee wall that is critical to the people of the Rio Grande Valley. And of course, he said, we urge you to authorize the RGV Border Patrol sector to immediately commence levee constructions. Yeah, so he wants that levee construction fixed immediately because of all these illegals and human trafficking. So this way it'll be ready for the hurricane season. Update confirmed by the Army Corps of Engineers in support of CBP's Border Infrastructure Program. USACE has resumed DHS-funded design and construction support on approximately 13.4 miles of levee in the Rio Grande Valley that were partially excavated or at various levels of construction when work on the wall was paused for review. So now that it is confirmed that the Army Corps of Engineers had resumed or confirmed in support of border infrastructure program, the USACE has resumed DHS funded design of construction support on approximately 13.4 miles of levee in the Rio Grande Valley. So now it's about time that this construction gets on its way now, putting the border wall out, repair the levees after Creepy Joe had halted this in January of this year. And of course, here is Bill's Twitter account and at USACE HQ Twitter, what they have put on their Twitter account. So it is about time that Creepy Joe is allowing this to resume now, the border wall to continue to finish building and the levee as well before the hurricane season starts up on June 1st through November 30th, and the flooding season as well. All right. Leave your comments below. I am out.